John Wick 3. There's loads more guns. He kills a bunch of people. It's loads of fun. And this actually is turning into a song about dogs. This is John Wick. Here we go. Think about it, then we just end up with this kind of garbage where it's like, oh, what a self-aware take on an opening.
Well, if you say that, then it is.
Yeah, just draw attention to it and make it like a cool meta thing. Welcome back to Hurd Ya Saw!
I saw you press record mid-sentence as you were saying that, and I was like, oh no.
That's because you're watching the right parts of my hands, not the ones that are the guns. I didn't drag that back to the plot properly. So we would just watch John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Ugh!
What a film.
Ugh! I felt it in my bones!
So did numerous stuntmen.
No, oh boy, did they! And Keanu Reeves felt it a lot. I am joined by AJ
Hello.
and Shay.
Hello.
Morton should be here, but he's a little bitch who didn't watch John Wick 2. He should watch John Wick 2. Morton, listen to this episode.
No, you never
Never listen.
He'll never listen to anything that
I'll
we
give
tell
him
him.
shit tomorrow.
Do. We begin, as ever, with a round of one-line hot takes. Shay.
With a fucking library book.
Oh my, I forgot that happens.
With a fucking library book.
What a fucking tone setter that was.
That was a serious tone setter. I will get there.
Yeah, oh boy, oh god, your recap, Jesus.
Yeah.
EJ, one-line hot take.
Excellent advertisement for LED lighting.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say a watch brand there.
That was also very, very thrown in there.
Well, I mean, I was going to say that another advertising thing is like, hey, this movie basically had a segment going, you should watch The Raid 3. John Wick winks at camera, going, hey, and you're like, yeah, I should. I should watch The Raid 3 when that comes out, because, mother of God, those boys can punch the shit out of each other. Okay, EJ, let's do a recap. I will say up front, before we even get into like plot spoilers or anything, go see this film. It's really good. If you like John Wick 1 and John Wick 2, you'll like this.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's just ratcheting up the craziness. There's nothing about this where I was like, oh boy, it's done better in one of the other films. No, it's just more of the same, but better.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, how can we push the envelope? What if we... More dogs? Yeah? Fucking ninja magic? Yeah. Do you kill someone with, I don't know, book? Yeah, fucking great. Horses? They're now weapons. Brilliant. Okay. Go see it. It's fucking great. It's fucking John Wick 3. It's brilliant. EJ.
Okay, here we go.
Let's rock and roll.
We leave off in John Wick 2 at a point where he's running in the rain. And then we pick up in John Wick 3 and he's running in the rain.
Approximately 20 minutes have gone by between movies.
It's essentially, it's as though we've lived it with him. Okay, so he's shot, injured, needs to get fixed up, and needs to get supplies. Goes to the library, takes out his Russian book in which he's stashed his money and cross.
Yep.
Dude
On a
shows
rosary.
up, curb stomps him with the book after some fight.
Oh, the fight. This dude was fucking giant.
Yeah, this dude was crazy.
He was a giant dude with a knife.
I did look away because there was a lot of crunching, and I was like, he's just gonna break his head open. It's gonna be like Drive.
Yeah, he didn't do that.
Okay.
He did break the fuck out of his jaw, though.
Yeah, his jaw was detached.
Yep. A whole thing.
So that was definitely a tone setter. And then he runs out into the rain, finds a guy, stitches himself up, shoots the guy, who's taking 2 bullets to help his friend, which is very sweet. I feel like that's not acknowledged enough. And then he's like, okay, let me go to the ballet. So he goes to the ballet.
Wait, I just have to say, between that sequence,
yeah,
he fights those dudes in what appears to just be here's an old-timey weapons store.
Oh, yeah.
With all the knives.
I forgot that he just chucks, like, 500 knives into, like, 4 people. And then some guys show up with hatchets, and you're like, this won't end well.
And it doesn't! It doesn't at all!
No. And he takes apart 2 antique guns and makes a super gun.
Yep.
And then doesn't really use it. He uses it, he has 1 bullet with it, and then he's just like, I'll just throw knives now. So he goes to the ballet, and is it Angela, what?
Houston?
Angelica Houston.
Houston is
Yeah.
there, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I trained assassins probably, and also ballet."
Yep.
Sure. And he's like, "Here's my cross. It's a ticket, and please punch my ticket." And she's like, "Sure." And then Brands is back
With the
because
cross.
they couldn't just rip something, or I don't know.
Yep.
He goes to Casablanca, meets Halle Berry, who's got 2 dogs. And,
They are. I want to say they are good boys.
They are very good boys. They wear their own armor, and he's like, "Hey, please take me to the guy,
Your boss.
one of the guys."
Yes.
And she's like, okay, fine. And they go meet the guy.
He's
who's
got,
in-
sorry, real quick, he's got the marker he was given at the end of the John Wick 2
yeah.
was Halle Berry's marker.
Yeah, that's clear.
And he, like, did a thing for her in the past, so she has to help him.
Yeah.
It's the rules.
So she takes him to that guy, who is a dick.
Who is Bronn from Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
Oh, okay. And so, as such, he wants a dog, shoots the dog, it's still alive, so the dog rips his dick off.
Yes.
It's really fitting.
Yeah, there's like over 10 crotch hits. in
Yeah,
this.
the dogs only go for the dick.
There was a moment where I was thinking, man, if I was an assassin, I would invest in a cup.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, just cause, I mean, John kicked a bunch of people in the dick.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Like, that's his go-to.
It's very
It's
good.
a
Have to
smart
respect.
go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they shoot like, I don't know, 40, 50 people
It's
in
a lot.
a rug room, and
And throw a lot of dogs at
a
them.
lot of the dogs, they just fucking leap out of nowhere and bite dicks off. Some dog, like, jumped Halle Berry and then bit a guy's dick off from above, and then dragged him back down. It's ridiculous.
We need to talk about the
Yeah.
adjudicator shows up.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, let me get to the one point.
Okay.
Because I'll leave Halle Berry in the desert where she leaves John Wick
Yes.
to crawl.
Because he was told by
Oh, yeah.
Bronn, because he wants to find the big dude,
Yeah.
the top boy.
He's going to the top.
Game of Thrones spoilers.
What?
Why?
Bronn becomes master of coin
That's-
in both.
Okay, I didn't know that, but good.
It's not that much.
I don't. Neither of us watch
I
Game of
don't care
Thrones.
about Game of Thrones, so I have no idea.
I knew you two didn't, that's why.
This is for the audience. at
And I
home.
signposted it to the audience.
You did.
So they can't get mad.
Yeah, and also everyone's watched it now.
Yeah.
It
But
happened.
now, by the time you release this.
Yeah,
sure.
which will be in a couple
Wait,
of days.
is that a current today spoiler?
Yeah, that's like a today spoiler.
Like,
Oh.
well,
On the
yesterday
box.
evening, technically.
Wait, who was that guy?
He was, okay, so Bronn is like the sort of...
So Braun is different from Bran.
Yeah, Bran's like the guy who gets pushed out of a window in the first episode and becomes
Okay.
like a psychic dude. Bronn is the guy who's all like,
In
I'm
you've
a
only
lad
seen
around
season one,
town.
right?
I
Well,
finished season 1.
Okay, Bronn helps Tyrion from not falling through the high garden hole in the floor.
He's like the common
Oh,
like,
is
I'm
that
a
it?
mercenary and I'm quite good at fighting.
that guy.
I'm a
Okay.
fan favorite and I say fuck a lot.
Oh, alright.
He did a good job in this movie.
Yeah, he's fine.
Very unlike
He
Bronn.
didn't have
Sorry,
much to do.
that was
Um,
too much of a...
He got bitten in the dick real good.
Yeah, he did.
And then kneecapped.
Oh yeah, she shoots him in the knee.
Yeah, because
Uh,
John's like, Sophia, don't kill him. Because
I've
I've
made-
literally done this.
Yeah. So she shoots him in the. She liquefies his kneecap.
Yes.
Okay. Meanwhile.
Wait, we didn't get to. So he wants to meet the top guy who,
Oh, yeah.
and was told by Master of Coin, Bronn Man, to just go walking in the desert until you think you're gonna die, and then keep walking, and maybe the top guy in charge of all of the assassins everywhere will find you.
Yeah.
Cut back to New York.
Okay, in New York, at the hotel, they're like, oh, a guy got killed on company property, and then there's an inquiry, because things are done fairly properly there, and so an adjudicator shows up, and is like, guys, we gotta get this under control. We have rules. Is kind of an asshole, and walks around being like, oh, ordering people to die, just death follows. There's not much interesting stuff going on there.
That's true.
Could have done without everything about that.
She does go to a sushi bar.
Right.
They don't say any pronouns in this film on purpose. Apparently.
Noted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They do go to a
sushi
sushi
bar
bar.
thing. There's a guy who like is an assassin and is super good at it, and so is enlisted to kill John Wick.
Good luck to him, I say.
Everyone's enlisted to kill John Wick. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, and to seek revenge on everyone who helped him escape.
Yeah.
So they go around just cutting people up.
Yeah. Ninja style.
Yeah. That part's boring. Back to the cool part. John Wick is like waking up in a desert, and he's like, oh shit, I better cut off my finger and be like, I pledge eternal service to the high table. Here's my wedding ring and my finger. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Back to it. Here's a dark suit. So he gets his dark suit, goes back to New York, meets a sushi guy, who then kind of attacks him but kind of doesn't, and then they have this sick motorcycle chase, and I realized I just forgot about the horse part.
You did forget about the
The
horses.
horse part is sick.
We'll
Back to the horse part.
Wait,
There's so
we'll
many good parts.
We
Don't
need to
worry,
get through the recap. We can talk
Okay.
about favorite bits.
Okay, so there's a motorcycle bit, and if you remember, this was a hot topic last episode. Because Morton was really upset about the order in which the swords were drawn.
Yes.
And I'm here to put the record straight.
Do it.
The swords were drawn at the same time. They were all just drawn on the same hand. I think they used a different shot in the trailer. So nobody panic.
Cool.
You can just see it, and it will be fine.
Yeah. Click that light switch. Clap
yeah.
your hands. Wash them. It's cool.
And in fairness, there's not 6 of them for very long.
No. Oh,
He
no.
really just shreds them immediately.
Yeah.
It's the length of a bridge and then back, and they're all just gone.
Yep.
Ends up back at the hotel, and they're like, safe zone. Go in, chilling on the couch, and the sushi guy, I don't know his name, the guy who makes sushi.
Yeah.
He's just like, dude, I'm such a huge fan, and he's just like fangirling over John Wick, and John Wick's like, yes, I know. I'm John Wick. I get this all the time.
Here's my dog again.
Yeah.
I love you,
oh,
dog.
yeah. Okay, so suddenly converges a SWAT team because the hotel is no longer a safe zone, and they basically are just like, we'll go on into this vault, get a fuck ton of guns, go and shoot everybody after a couple tries because they're all wearing armor.
Yeah.
There's green lights and like crazy music, and it's just like a club scene, and they're completely throwing any logic out the window with any kind of lighting in this film, and it's great. A bunch of fighting. They fight in the big glass Apple store, and that's it. That's just fighting. That's it.
Yeah. Well, then at the end.
And then at the end, he gets shot and he's thrown off a building, and they're like, "Oh, guess we'll never see him again." Don't need to check if he's dead. It's just John Wick. How easy was that?
Turns out all we had to do was shoot him and throw him off a roof.
Winston shoots him to keep the hotel, and then he's dragged off by the underground army of...
The Bowery.
Oh, the Bowery. And then he lives, and he's really pissed. So in the next film, it will probably be very different because he'll be seeking revenge.
Yeah, he's never done that. He's never done that.
It'll be a really different vibe.
John Wick has been like the chillest dude, but now he's pissed. Yeah. And he's also working with Morpheus again, which I love. I'm just like, yay. Okay.
There's a lot going on, but also there's really virtually nothing happening in this movie
Again.
except for wide-angle fight scenes.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the first things I have to get out of the way is that this movie, and amongst many brilliant fucking things that it has a ghost ship moment, which is brilliantly done. For people who don't, you're looking at me confused, a ghost ship moment is coined from the movie Ghost Ship, wherein someone says the name of the film, and the ghost ship moment is the bit where they go, it turns out one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and you go, that was the bit. In this case, you have...
Someone says John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
No, but he does
That's
the Parabellum thing, which, like, I was all like, I wonder what Parabellum means. And you have Winston doing a little Latin motto as they go off to fight all of the fucking SWAT dudes in armor. He says, if you expect peace, he says, Parabellum, the subtitle is prepare for war. And I'm like, oh fuck, John Wick's definitely living because this is prepare for war.
Yeah.
So I feel like the fourth one's going to be John Wick, total fucking war.
Yeah, I bet it
Yo,
will
John
be.
Wick, you ain't seen shit yet, bro. Let's talk about horses.
Yeah. Oh my god. He just like gets 2 horses to kick guys in the face.
Yeah.
He does it once and you think, we all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But then when he does it a second time, you're like, oh, he knows how to use horses as weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to use everything as a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Axes, knives, books, horses, fucking his own belt in a really good sequence. The guys from the Raid are in this movie, and I was so excited.
They did a Chekhov's belt.
Yes!
Yeah.
They set up that the belt was dangerous.
They're like, yeah, you have to take your belt off, John, to go and see fucking like Angelica Houston, who's great.
Yeah.
She's really good, super Russian, and John Wick's real name is, Jana Janovic?
Something
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A son of Belarus.
Are we done with horses? Or,
What do you want to talk about, Shay?
that moment with Angelica Houston
Oh,
where you
with
find
the-
out... Oh, yeah, not that moment, but
Oh.
when you find out, oh, where's John Wick come from? Oh, all these dancers have the same
Yeah.
tattoos,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
all about, like, a ticket punching. It's a death ode of, like, if you dedicate yourselves to this cult
Yeah.
thing. Which means also John Wick was a ballet dancer.
Yes, which I was thinking, I was like, he's
And they
definitely
do a
fucking
lot
dancer.
of linking in the film between, like, the fighting and dancing.
Yeah.
And that was great.
It
And I
was
liked
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
How many windows or glass boxes or just things made of glass
Oh,
did
I forgot
Keanu
about the Hall
Reeves?
of Skulls.
Yeah, how many things did Keanu Reeves get thrown through?
See, I was counting crotches and I lost count. So, like, I wasn't even counting the
There
windows.
was probably 7 skulls that were smashed. There
Yeah.
was a room, and it was lined with like crystal skulls in glass cases. And you see it once, and you're kind of like, oh, I bet some guys will fall through one of these. And then you come back, and he falls through every single fucking one in a single shot. They
It's-
don't cut.
No, they just throw Keanu Reeves through like 10 glass cases. There's a lot of actual good visual comedy in this movie.
There's so much visual comedy.
like a surprising amount.
Yeah.
And it's great. They're clearly like sort of, no, we're having fun, even
Yeah.
though it's super grim when some people get fucking murdered. Like, they up the gore factor for this movie a
yeah,
little
they
bit.
did.
Did you think when they when John Wick fights the final sushi guy at the end,
Yeah.
and like the sushi guy was very much like Monty Python's Black Knight moment.
Yeah.
Almost, it had that vibe.
Yeah.
There was the so there's the bit when they're at the end, he's all like, hey, John, that was a pretty cool fight. John's like, yeah. He was like, okay. There's the bit where the lights go off before they came back on, and I was just like, oh my god, if he ninja vanishes now, I
That'd
will
be great.
flip my shit. And I'll be like, he's gonna be in the second, fourth one! Ah!
But then he wasn't.
Then he wasn't, but then he died, you know.
Lighting.
Yes!
Lighting was
Like-
insane.
It's great that everyone in this universe is committed to aesthetic.
Yes!
Like they're like, just in case there's a big fight in this lobby, we need to make sure we have mood lighting specifically for this. And that I love.
It's, oh my god. It's, there's not a, this is the thing. We talked previously about how, like, oh hey, they're using the whole film as a method of sort of having a metaphor. Jesus, I really am amped up. I can't
Yeah.
think properly. It's a metaphor for John trying to come to terms with his grief in lots of different ways. And this one was interesting because I think the key moment is where he took the object signifier of his grief, his ring finger, and the wedding ring, and gave it away as a tool for him to just fucking kill things as a way to keep stupid alive in the memory. And I feel like thematically, that's like him wanting to just wallow in his depression
Yeah.
rather than trying to grow. And I'm like, this is a good multi-layered functional metaphor you've
Do you
got
think
going
there's
on
12
here.
stages of grief? Are there going to be 12 John Wick films?
If they keep up this level of
There are
quality,
12 stages of grief.
How many stages of grief
There's
are
like
there?
5.
Oh.
in that case,
5.
If they're all as good as this, then yes.
Because it's what? Denial,
Yeah.
depression, bargaining. This is not in the right order.
Yeah.
Bargaining, acceptance, anger.
Yeah. So, We could be...
Denial.
This one was definitely bargaining.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah,
bargaining.
that is the third
Everyone's
one.
right.
So-
Yeah, so first
Denial.
one's depression, then second
first
one must
one's
be
denial.
denial. Oh, so first one's denial, so he's not willing to admit, that he's back and therefore that his wife is gone?
That he's focusing his. I haven't seen John Wick. He's
No,
focusing
actually-
his grief on the dog and not her.
No, I've totally got it, actually. It is denial because he thinks he can come back and not be back.
Oh.
Like, he thinks he can indulge in the depressive behavior analog and not be sucked into it, so he's
Yeah.
in denial that he's actually affected by it. And then it ends, then the second film's like, no, this is happening, your
Yeah.
feelings are real. Second one
Second
is...
one's anger.
You think that's... I feel like...
In
if the-
accordance to the actual thing.
Oh, does it go denial, anger,
Bargaining.
bargaining, depression?
Acceptance.
Okay.
The fifth one's just gonna be a nice film where John's like, John's just walking down the street.
The fifth one's Bill and Ted. Which would
Oh
be
my
great.
god, they had a great Matrix callback in this.
Did they? I
Well,
haven't
the-
seen The Matrix since I was like 13.
Oh, but the bit when he goes, "What? I need something, Winston. What do you need? Guns. Lots of guns." That's the line from the Matrix when he just goes, and all the guns come out of like cyberspace.
Sick.
I
And I
thought
was
then
just
it
like-
was interesting that they made the room green. And
Yeah.
I was like, that
Oh.
seems very like a hint of Matrix.
These movies are so fucking well made and good. And everyone does a good job. And here's the thing, Sushi Guy, he walked a really interesting line for me because I'm like, oh, you're super fucking intimidating because you're basically a magical fucking ninja.
Yeah, yeah.
The bit when they just were disappearing and counter-disappearing in impossible moments, like at multiple times on the
Yeah.
film, it's like, oh, cool, John can kind of quasi-do ninja magic, I
Yeah.
guess. But he was fun, but he wasn't annoying. He was terrifying, but he was also sort of like, in some ways, I'm like, I'm kind of on
Yeah, you're
your
kind of
side.
rooting for him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want him to do it because he's all like, John, I just want to have the best fight with you. Can I just have the best fight?
He just wants to have fun.
Oh man, the shot when he drags that armor guy into the pool and the guy tries to shoot him.
Yes.
And they accurately show what happens when you shoot high caliber bullets underwater, and then they just go, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
because it's so good.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
The movie's fucking brilliant. The bit when they go out, they fight. I know they found the perfect enemy for John Wick as a raising of stakes. John Wick murders lots of guys first. So okay. In terms of pacing, they were really careful in the first act of this movie that John barely fucking touched a gun.
Yeah.
They were very careful to be like, no, he can do lots of other shit as well. He did not actually start doing gun shit until he got to Casablanca, where they, like you say, murdered like 45 people with
But
guns
even
and a
that,
dog.
they had a thing before that. Like, that was at the end of
Mm.
the Casablanca bit.
Yeah.
Like, they were there for a while before.
Yeah, they'd like took some time before we actually got some good ass gun action. And then I think what was interesting is that they're like, so okay, we've shown what he does when he hasn't got any guns. We've reestablished what he can do with guns. Then they bring him back and he has the fight with the SWAT team. They're like, the next step up, bulletproof guys.
Oh, yeah.
What now, John? And you're like, oh fuck, he has to change up his shit. And at one point, he and the concierge go back to Winston being like, these guns are not adequate for our gun purposes. We want bigger guns. And they go out with bigger fucking guns and it works better. It's just like, so good. Bulletproof guys. And I fully accept it. I was just like, yeah, great.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's still using the kinetic force of bullets to knock people over and then fucking get his gun onto their fucking thing and blow their fucking heads off.
So fucking good.
John Wick.
I'm actually hyped for fourth one.
Yeah.
I know we all said we wanted him to die at the end of this one.
Yeah, I'm just like that.
But I'm cool with
Yeah,
this.
this is still good.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, they knew what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Give me the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
We'll take it. 100%.
Yeah, I'm down for a pentology.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, pentology. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Underused. Let's bring it back.
What did we make of the adjudicator?
I for their part was interesting in the world building
Yes.
because I thought what they showed was that the rules are a bit corruptible in that the high table believes that they're almost, because they're higher up, that they're kind of beyond rules, because a lot of people help John based on rules. So Angelica Houston does it because of the ticket thing and that
Yep.
she's bound. Halle Berry does it because she's bound
Yeah, she's got the
by
marker.
the
Yeah.
marker, yeah. And I think that there's hints of like, all of it, rules aren't quite what they are.
Yeah.
Almost. They can be disregarded by certain people in a certain way.
Yeah.
I think that's super interesting.
And it's interesting as well that at the end, Winston gets them to basically, reinstate him and reconsecrate the Continental by just saying, if you want to fucking go, I can go all fucking night, baby. I'm New York. Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate when they use that in movies. It's
Oh,
so
as like
pointless.
a shout outs to New York
yeah,
sort of thing.
like who cares?
Yeah. But the thing that was interesting is that for all of the adjudicators sort of pontificating on like the rules are the rules, you can't break them. I'm the embodiment of the rules. Slide my coin across the table.
Yeah.
As soon as Winston put himself effectively on as an assumed equal footing of power, they were like, oh, we can bend the rules for you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, commentary on the way that, the rules don't apply to fucking rich people in this world.
But
Or don't, like, in the world, rather.
But they also don't bend far enough that they can spare John Wick.
No. Hence why John gets... what do you got
Thrown
thrown
off
off
a building.
And he hits everything on the way down. Jesus.
I really like the Winston turn.
Yeah.
Especially because Winston kind of goes to John early and goes, hey, make sure you're making the right choice. Do you really want to kill me? Because then you become a monster.
Yeah.
And that would be bad for your wife wouldn't want you to be a monster, would you? That's not what you want.
Yeah.
And then he goes, yeah, I just did that to fucking... I knew my play here.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good at being a, chess master assassin man.
I also don't think that he meant to kill John Wick. He
Yeah.
didn't shoot him in the head.
He did not try very hard to shoot John dead.
He could very easily have done that. And he did the thing that John did in the beginning when he shot the doctor.
Yep.
He shot him in the same places.
Really? I didn't clock that exactly.
So he knew he would live.
Mm,
And he knew that if he stayed on the roof, they would have killed him.
definitely. 100p.
So,
Dang. I don't know if I actually have that much more to say about this movie.
It was just super good.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and he makes the choice with the ring part. That
Yeah.
was great. Like, the choice to, like, They did a very smart thing, if you hadn't watched the John Wick films, of going, when he goes to his secret book,
Yeah.
and it's got, like, his ticket and his last few coins, and also a photo of his wife, and he kisses the photo and goes, oh, it's all about his wife still, remember? That, and about wanting to be able to grieve.
Yeah, and the reason he gives to the top
Yeah.
man being like, yo, I just want to remember her and live.
Yeah, I want to live so I can remember her. But then he makes the choice to, like, give up his former life of being out, essentially. Being like, he's kind of understood that he's now definitely back in. There's no way out now.
There's not like, I'm thinking I'm back. It's like, no, John, you're very much back.
He knows he's back now.
Yeah. He's got, but then you had the really fucking good image of like him holding the gun in one hand and looking at the fucking stump of where his wedding ring once was, and him being like, oh shit, I've created a fucking little moral choice metaphor with my hands.
Yeah.
And then he chooses not to. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I just think this film's story was really good.
Yeah.
I think John Wick 2 had a lot of legwork to do in setting up like a potential for more John Wick films.
Yes.
After a quite succinct first film.
Mm.
And now is built upon that in a way where it's like, oh, it can make interesting choices with all the different characters and have good moments and it be very satisfying.
Yes. I really like the what's his nuts from Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a crazy homeless person.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was all like, oh, it's him. It's Pimento. Just playing the same character. I was like, he's undercover right now. Jake Peralta's round the corner. Oh, that's a crossover I would not want to see. Cool. EJ, you got anything else to throw in?
I got nothing.
Yeah. I just feel really, like, fucking satisfied.
Really solid, enjoyable watch.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
this was what I wanted it to be. It surprised me in lots of ways, like, in terms of, one, how elaborate some of the set pieces were. Two, how far the gore got ratcheted up a bit. You know, there were lots of bits where it had the audience going, "Oh no!"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like the book moment, or the stabbing the dude in the eye, or like even chopping his own finger off. You're like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
You know, it's like that whole. It felt more, less like this is very sterile. There was much more a sense of like trying to make it a lot more tactile and feel a lot more hard-edged, which is hard to do in a movie series like John Wick, which is already pretty brutal.
I can't believe this is a 15.
What?
Yeah.
This was a
This
15?
is a 15.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They must have walked a really impressive line with like,
They probably cut stuff.
yeah. Oh. Oh.
But sometimes it's just about the colour and the length of time and stuff.
And then how much blood splatter you show
yeah,
matters
exactly.
and stuff.
So it could be just.
Yeah.
They probably showed a few cuts that we got to see,
Probably.
Yeah.
but every 15-year-old's gonna find this film very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15-year-old me would like shit bricks immediately. I'd just be like, oh my god. Fuck, what was the thing I was gonna say? I just really want to go watch the Raid movies now.
I
Cause
need to watch number 2.
it's like it's the John Wick 2 of the Raid. Pretty, and like this is the thing, and I said it on the last podcast. They're basically structurally very similar films. Simple concept. Let's expand the world dramatically and do interesting things with the characters. When's the third one coming out? Gareth? Gareth? I know you listen. When's it coming out? He doesn't listen. I wish he did.
Isn't Racy like working on
Yeah.
that?
Oh, you know, she did tell
not
me.
not on the Raid 3, but on a different thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That Gareth's doing.
She did tell me a cool thing that she was wearing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. But yeah, I look forward to the other. Let's bring this mother trucker home with a remarkably succinct podcast for us. Final thoughts, EJ.
Just fucking watch it.
Yeah,
It's really good.
it's great.
See it in a theater if you can.
Yeah,
It's definitely worth that.
I can't believe how empty the screen was that we watched it in. Like, holy shit, people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everyone's going to the Prince Charles for this. They've got like that crowd captured because they play these films like every other week.
Okay, and I guess also it's a very good hype movie.
Yeah.
I think. Like again, the first time I saw the Raid 1, it's one of the most sort of, and that wasn't even at the Prince Charles or anything. That was just at like the View by Leicester Square. And it was like everyone was going, oh, whatever, something like super hard edge happened. You're like, god damn! And there was a lot of that in our screening of people just being like, whoa, and like clapping and shit.
Yeah.
Which is, it's good fun for this kind of
Which
movie.
happened in this screening.
Yeah.
There was only like 20 people.
There was
in.
20 people and everyone was hyped immediately because of that book thing.
Yeah. Oh, the book thing. Oh,
As soon as the book thing happened and everyone was like, oh fuck, everyone was like, oh, we're cool with this now.
Yeah, we're allowed
Let's
to
just
get like
keep
a
yelling.
little vocal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have to say, like, the way that I'm going to talk a little bit about the dudes from the Raid being in this. Like, so the dudes from the Raid, like the fight crew from the Raid, who are also in other movies as a fight crew. They show up in like fucking Star Wars and New Force Awakens and shit. Like, they're all over the place. I love that they're getting more work. But they have Mad Dog and the Assassin. Mad Dog, the final boss of the Raid 1. The Assassin, the final boss of the Raid 2. Both fight Keanu Reeves together and even have sassy little dialogue about like, oh, he's getting slow. He's John Wick, but can he beat the two of us? And then he fucking beats them, but he doesn't kill them. And then he says, be seeing you. And you're like, oh, we'll be seeing you in the Raid. Well, we won't see them in the Raid 3 because they both get fucking murdered in their respective movies. Like, I was really thinking, I was like, am I going to see both of these dudes get fucking stabbed up again? I mean, I'm fine with it, but it's like, that's really becoming a trend. But it handles its cameos, or rather just like actors who you will recognize really well, I think.
Yeah.
Like, Halle Berry, we talk about how fucking good.
She's cool.
Yeah, and she does a lot of like the fucking.
Yeah.
I want to know how much
She broke her ribs.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she broke her ribs in this.
That's impressive.
I want to know how much dogs training she did. Because she was really good with them dogs.
She was really good with the dogs.
I'm sure they're good boys, but.
Well, they had to not kill people.
Yeah.
And it really looked like they were killing people.
They were just going in and like.
Yeah.
I thought Halle Berry was great. I thought what was interesting about this film is each person that John meets Halle Berry and the sushi guy, and both kind of being reflections on them both.
Yeah.
In that Halle Berry is also dealing with grief and has to make choices based on her grief that she's dealing with.
Yeah.
Or her grief being a bit different from John's.
Yes.
But she made a very different choice to John when she first
had the thing that she couldn't have in a way. Yeah.
Did she want to try and have the family or not? And she chose that would be too hard, and therefore she has to grieve in a different way.
I mean, I also like in this movie that for people amongst the audience who maybe aren't very good at recognizing themes in film, this film does the novel thing of directly and emphatically stating what the fucking movie is about 5 times. Choice and consequences.
Yeah.
It's what the movie's about. They directly state it. And I'm like, oh, cool. It's very on the nose, but I'm like, sometimes with a movie that's clearly got a lot more going on under the surface, it's good that they're like, no, it's about this. Clearly. Shay, final thoughts.
Yeah. Just a Keanu, yeah, is all I have to say. It's fucking good film.
It's good. It's so
This film is as good as those good boy dogs.
Yes, and they're great. Terrifying, but great. I'd like to pet them, but also then keep a respectful distance. And sort of it's okay. And I guess for my final thought, things I want in John Wick 4.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say. I want John Wick to demonstrate that he can dance. They've teased that he's a trained ballet dancer now, and I want Keanu Reeves just to have an excuse to do some fucking ballet in the next one. Not sure how they get that in, but do it. It's fine. I want to see John Wick kill someone with a boat. I feel like that would be good. Or maybe an elaborate fight scene on a boat. I'm easy either way. I would also like to see, at some point, I want someone to use a sword cane. So, because Lawrence Fishburne has that walking stick, and I'm like, you better pull a sword out of that at some point and murder somebody. And just this has been a really rough fucking. What are we up to now for John Wick? This has been what?
They mention in there it's only been a couple of weeks.
It's been a month.
Yeah, max. But he's still got bullets in him from the second film.
He fell off a hotel building.
I want him to do the Willy Wonka thing next film. You know the thing in the beginning of the Willy Wonka, in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when they arrive and all the kids are watching him walk out of the thing and no one's ever seen him before, and he's walking with this cane and he's super stilted.
Oh yeah.
And then he does the front flip.
Oh yeah.
He falls, but then he just flips over.
I want him to do that in this movie.
In the next film, I want him to at least have where he looks at a Zimmer frame and goes, no, and then kills someone with the Zimmer frame. So we've now had magic ninjas, fucking, sky's the limit. It's great. Watch this movie. It's so much fun. Oh, sorry, another thing I just wanted to talk about that I thought was really fucking cool. The way they used the glass room, the Apple Store place. Because, the way that they played really cleverly and carefully on you're not sure when there's glass between two people, between the camera and you, and the way you recognize it is mostly by either smashing people or swords or bullets or other things into it. And it's just really, really well constructed that the camera moves and weaves through these sheets of glass that they're just throwing each other. It's fucking brilliant.
Here's what I was also liking about that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking this world's so deep and stuff, because those ninja boys, just like in John Wick 2, must have went and looked up the plans for the Continental and stuff. And I was thinking about that, I bet they had a scene where they went off. And it was there's a whole world, because I'm just imagining, I now know the rules of the world, that what people can do in it.
Yeah.
So therefore I can imagine what, that's how they know the layout of the glass and stuff in this room, for example.
And they ninja vanish as well. It's so much fun of just people disappearing on each other like dicks and being he disappeared on me. And they actually, there's a really good callback to John Wick 1. The bit when he first does the ninja disappearance on Sushi Guy, and it pans round and he's looking towards the camera, and then John just walks out of the darkness. That exact shot happens in John Wick 1.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that was a really good callback to he's fucking back again, doing his ninja fucking vanish shit. Okay, we need to stop, because my final thoughts are just, what more please. This was great. John Wick is great. Keanu Reeves is lovely. He's just a good boy, like the dogs in the movie. Roll on John Wick 4. I hope you live this time? Wait, do we think
Yeah,
he's...
we need 5.
We need 5. We're
need
committed to
5
5?
now, yeah.
We're committed to 5.
Stages agree.
A pentology, please, lads. Bye!